Where's the book? Where is it? Hamlin Faulkner, master of bookkeeping.
Let's look in on a high school bookkeeping class.
Why? That's just a poster we have, I guess.
150. That's a lot of different kinds of jobs.
850,000. That's a lot of people.
And a lot of jobs. Jobs for us when we graduate.
We're masters of stating the obvious. That's our job.
Politics. I'm going to be a senator, maybe governor.
Listen to him.
I'm going to be Rick Perry.
For you.
The Honorable Henry Foster.
All right, you'll see.
Tell me, what's the governor doing in bookkeeping class?
I've got a reason.
Oh, the governor here to learn about the
Henry has
books.
a reason for being here. So have all the others. A little investigation into those reasons should be interesting. And
It's also an
might ask you some of
investigation
your
on what the hell
questions
Carol
about
is wearing with that
bookkeeping and
skirt.
you. Howard Winslow, for instance, is studying
Howard?
bookkeeping because he's
Howard?
going into business. He's going to work in his father's grocery store and eventually take it over. He already works there after school and on Saturdays.
So what's
Like
the
any
point of
other
saying he
business,
was
a
going
grocery
to if he
store
already
buys
does?
and sells. And it needs a record of every business transaction, such as the sale of groceries to a customer. Receipts
carry
from
the
cash
4.
sales are recorded in the cash
Just do
register.
like this, and there we go.
Meanwhile, Howard's father has been waiting on a customer who has a charge account.
This guy's an
This
asshole, and I made sure to write it
transaction is
down.
recorded on a sales slip, which shows the customer's name, what he bought, and the amount. He'll pay for all his purchases at the end of the month.
Yeah, okay, you get the hell out of here, you
The
bastard.
day's work done, Howard's thoughts turn to another sort of business transaction. Money paid out by the store.
And
Paid to
alcohol.
him for his work. Now,
Wow,
Mr.
$5
Winslow
whole
needs to
dollars.
know how much cash he has taken in and paid out during the day. So he rings up the totals of the day's cash transaction.
This, press this one over here, and then a different number comes up this time.
Inside the cash register, this information is printed on a slip of paper.
I'll just tear that off right there.
This slip shows the amount received on account from customers, amount of cash sales, and amount paid out.
And in several years, computers will do this for
Watching
you.
his father wind up the day's business was what
Yeah,
showed
there we
Howard
go.
how
Make sure
important
that
it
wood
is
grain
for
matches
anyone to
up.
have a thorough understanding of bookkeeping before he steps out into the world of business.
Thought he was going to give him a fist pound there
Besides
for a
the
minute.
slips from the charge sales and the paper from the cash register, I have a record of every other transaction. The stubs in my checkbook are records of payments made by check. While this
And if you're not an
invoice
absolute
is a
idiot,
record
you
of
already
merchandise
understand
I
this.
bought and
Because
must
this
pay
is
for.
very, very matter-of-fact information.
And in
Things
addition
that
to these
anyone with
immediate
half a
records,
brain would
Mr.
understand.
Winslow keeps a
Literally
permanent
every
record of all
business keeps a ledger.
transactions
We
for
already
each
know this!
In this book, he enters the amounts from the cash register slip.
And...
stubs.
Oh, okay, there we are. And...
And the invoices.
And...
This is what we mean
There
by
we are.
keeping records. At the end of each month, he prepares 2 reports which help him, among other things, to
I'll
make
send this one
plans
to
for
J.
the
Edgar
future
Hoover.
and to figure his income tax.
Let's
One
see.
of these reports shows income from the sale of groceries and his various costs for merchandise, rent,
69,000,
insurance,
dude.
and utilities.
Does
The
that say
difference between
depression?
income and costs is net profit. The other report shows the amount of cash on hand, how much his customers owe him, the value of the business and supplies, the debts he must pay.
He's going to make
and
sure he
how much
points
the
out
business
all
is
of
worth.
this to someone.
So Howard has seen how important bookkeeping is in operating a business. His father has also explained that neglecting to keep adequate records
Oh, this
is
guy
one of
went
the most
bankrupt.
frequent causes
I
of
know.
business failure.
That's a little gem store, and he's an asshole. That's why he went bankrupt.
So that's why Howard is in bookkeeping class.
Study harder with
And
my
of course,
sweater vest, and I'll have a
bookkeeping
sweater
is
vest
just
store
as
of my
important
own.
for people going into any other line of business. For Stella, who wants to be a nurse in a doctor's office. For Mike, who plans to run a filling station. For Ruth, who hopes to own a beauty parlor. And for Bob, who's going to be a
A
farmer.
serial killer.
Like Howard, Bob is already learning his business, and he's learned that farming is a business. A farmer, like a storekeeper or a manufacturer...
Is it just like a
needs
rule
to
that
keep
anyone who's
accurate
going
records
into
in
this
order
business
run
has
his
to
farm
dress
in a
exactly
profit.
like their father?
These records and reports also contain the information he needs to figure out his income tax. Which brings us from bookkeeping and business to
Back when the
bookkeeping
U.S.
and the family.
Back when the U.S.
For filling out
Department of
income
Agriculture
tax
would send you
is
forms.
one sort of bookkeeping
Now
that
you're just
goes
gonna
on
do
in
it
nearly
yourself.
every home.
You know, Ronald,
That's a
family
horrible
is like
shirt.
a small business. We have our income and our expenses. Some things we buy for cash, others on open charge accounts, and some on the installment plan.
And some we
Important
steal.
transactions such as buying our home call for careful planning and the keeping of records to be sure our plan is being carried out.
The audio of this video is not malfunctioning. That's just what people sounded like back then.
Your knowledge of bookkeeping will also help you understand such records as these.
Where are my eyes?
Stockholders' reports, which help guide the family in investing its savings.
Focus.
Bank statements, which are a periodic report of our main receipts and expenses.
Focus.
Like a business, a family which keeps regular accounts can plan better for the future.
He's not looking
and
at
it's
him
less
at
likely
all.
to go broke. Why, even your mother finds it helpful to understand bookkeeping.
She's not in the same room with
Yes,
them at
as an
all.
officer of the Women's Club, Mrs. Thayer helps manage the club's business affairs and checks over the treasurer's report. For social clubs also have their receipts and expenses and must keep books like any business organization.
No fucking
Ronald
shit.
has already learned that he must manage his own
now sign
financial
this.
affairs
Forge my name.
and
Let's
keep
see if you're
track
good
of
at
his
it.
expenses if he's going to stretch his allowance through the whole week. So he knows that when he becomes the head of a family and has to do this on a large scale, bookkeeping will be a mighty useful thing to know.
That
He's
ugly
studying
sweater,
it
on the
for
other hand,
personal
will not
use,
be as useful in
regardless
5
of the work
years.
he goes into. Nancy is in class because she has plans for becoming a stenographer and advancing to be a secretary. She knows that the dictation of a businessman often deals with problems involving bookkeeping principles.
Is that like an
So
oil thing
bookkeeping
on her
training
desk?
will
What is
stand her in
that?
good stead. She may have to type various kinds of business reports. She won't need to know bookkeeping just to copy such reports, but she will in order to check the accuracy of her work.
No shit.
There's another reason why a knowledge of bookkeeping helps the secretary to get ahead. She may be called upon to keep the personal bookkeeping records of her employer, and in a small
Not gonna lie,
office,
that's actually a pretty
possibly
awesome
be the
desk.
company's bookkeeper. Of course, bookkeepers and accountants are the people who use bookkeeping knowledge and skill most directly. Even
Really?
among machine operators, it's those who have studied bookkeeping who are most valuable to the company.
I'm just
and who
pressing random
therefore
buttons.
stand
I
a
don't
better
even really
chance
know
for
what's
promotion.
happening. Just these same
For
ones
many
over and
people,
over.
bookkeeping is the all-important first step toward achieving
Yes,
a
my
place
name is
in the
George, and I'm
profession
very
of accounting.
important.
Accounting not only entails maintaining all sorts of financial records, but also advising the management in planning financial and operating
Here's
policies.
your brochure. We
and
just
in
thought you
matters
needed
of
to see it.
production control. Then, too, there are many opportunities in the field of public accounting, handling the accounting work of individuals and small concerns, and serving large companies as an impartial and trustworthy outsider.
And figuring out how to cook
No
the
matter
books
where
so that
Nancy
your
may
mafia
work,
connections
an
don't kill
understanding
you.
of bookkeeping will help her to understand business in general. This brings us to Henry, who announced his intention of becoming a senator or maybe a governor. So why bookkeeping? Because government, too, is a business, a big business.
Government, in
Taxes
fact,
are
is not a
levied and
business.
collected
That
to
is the
provide
opposite of
income.
what government
Equipment
is.
is bought and salaries are paid. All these transactions must be recorded and reported. This naturally creates many opportunities for
I'm glad that we
bookkeepers and accountants
hung on
in the
that shot
federal,
of the state
state, and municipal
treasurer's
government.
office name.
And every
So glad
person
that
who
we did
holds
that.
public office must be able to understand and interpret such reports.
Focus.
Many of the issues in political campaigns involve business problems.
Efficiency in the city
My
hall.
opponent in this campaign tells you that he has operated our transportation system so efficiently that cash receipts have always exceeded cash disbursement.
Oh, that's great.
He neglects to tell you, however, that much of our transportation equipment is worn out, and no reserves have been provided to buy new.
When issues like this arise,
It's an
not
issue,
only the
very serious
candidate,
issue. This is
but
my
every
serious
voter needs
face.
to understand the principles of business and bookkeeping. The best way to learn such principles is to see how they work out in practice. And that's exactly what Henry and the others do in this bookkeeping class.
It's kind of the point of a class, yes.
Well, someone seems to be absent today. Or perhaps this vacant seat is for you.
Me?
You've seen some of the many different ways in which bookkeeping will help these students. Now, consider your own case. Can bookkeeping help you to get ahead in your chosen career?
Can it? Can it?
Bookkeeping help you in your personal life?
Well, there's the answer. Why the hell did you even ask me? Coronet Instructional Films, teaching you things you already know. Thank you everybody for watching, and a special thanks to my Moonfrindio Babbsy-kun for, well, being that. If you would like to donate to my Patreon, and maybe even join this tier, you can do that by going to, well, Patreon. And if you have your own story you'd like to send in, you can send it to r/MoonHorseStories. And I also have a merch store if you'd like to buy something there. The links to all that and more are in the description down below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye!